but y'all don't know nothing about one another. That's your cousin. That don't count. You in the house with him. But I'm sure it's something about not in the house, but in the house, because y'all in the same family. But it's something about man that you don't know that he do every day that a cousin wouldn't know. It's something about you that man don't know that you do every day that a cousin wouldn't know. He called me.
Two different.
Yeah. See how he checked you at? Okay. Now, but what we gotta do is you're gonna stand up and you're gonna introduce yourself to your king, to your fellow kings. Y'all gonna have a kingsmanship. And when you introduce yourself, you introduce yourself by your first and last name, and then you're gonna tell them something that they don't know about you. Alright? Man gonna go first since he's the older, then Ashton. When your birthday? You the oldest, so you should be able to think the fastest.
Yeah, you just said you in the future. You already here and all that. Yeah, you here. So do all that.
You said, can we see? You said, can we see?
Right.
Your name?
You don't know.
Okay, what know everything about you?
Oh no, come on, I got you.
Okay, stand up.
Come on, stand up, man.
I got you.
Baby, hush.
Such a fool.
My name is White, and
Stop.
I need time to date.
You are old, bro. To just tell us something about you that we don't know. Come right here. Come right here. Put that phone down, boy. Done Quavius what? Okay.
Oh yeah, my name is Previous White.
Oh yeah.
And I got
Alright, listen, stop. Stop. Leave him alone. This your first, so you never done public speaking, right? And you're nervous about it, right? This is a problem with us. A lot of us don't like standing in front of people because we ain't never been taught to do it. In order to do something, you must be taught to do it well, right? So, this is your opportunity. Don't worry about none of that. Now, you know if the other 16 were in here, these three wouldn't be the problem. Everybody be on your ass. But watch when they get up there, they're going to be worse than you.
my name is Previous White, and I got 2 sisters, and I got 2 brothers and 1 dad.
Oh, that ain't what I want to know, bro.
Oh, you said so?
No, I mean like something.
Oh my.
I don't want to know your sibling count. I know your sibling count. Tell me something else.
My name is Previous White, and I used to play football in 2016.
Boy, go ahead on. That how deep you gonna go?
What?
That what they need to know that you play football?
I mean, I don't know what else.
All right, tell us something. Tell us one of your hobbies. What do you like to do? What makes man smile? What makes you happy? What do you do when you feeling down? Tell me something. I need something there.
My name is Previous White.
Stop saying your name.
We know your name now, bro. We got it.
You nervous.
One of my hobbies is playing basketball. And
What do you do? What do you do to make you happy?
what I do to make me happy is
Outside of sports.
talk to my sister. What I do when I'm down. What I do when I'm down. I call my oldest sister. Yeah. Yeah, I talk to my sister back here.
I'll talk to my sister.
Funny little kids. Amazing.
Introduce yourself. Let's go.
Just think of that thing that y'all trying so desperately hard to hide.
To hide. That's what they doing. You hide. Okay, so let me ask you this. I'll do it. My name is Jacoby Zachary. And in elementary school, I used to have a speech problem. But I worked on it time and time again. And now, I'm up here and I talk in front of y'all every day. I get on your ass every day. And I don't have
Oh, that's
That's me.
They gonna laugh though.
It don't matter.
but it's extra full, and basically I don't have one, but I just got a speech impediment to where I stutter half the time, but not really.
Oh, you see how I made you come out the shit?
My name is Mohammed, and something that I do is I go skate.
Skating?
Oh yeah, stop putting
You have anything else you like to do?
What? Skate.
Come on. You have anything else you like to do other than skate?
Visiting my old hood.
Yo, oh,
Did he say, oh, drum out of here, bro? Where your old hood at? Where you grew up at? Big baby full of
Ed1Sa Kingsman.
oh yeah, my bad.
Come. I got no one to talk to myself.
The man said, visit the old Lord.
You like to draw? Okay.
I mean, he's
So
old.
what are you doing to like what type of things you like drawing? Animated? What's your favorite? You be drawing Dragon Ball Z and stuff? Goku?
Teen Titans.
Big
Yeah,
Teen
no,
Titans?
I know anime.
Like Raleigh.
You don't know what Boondock is?
You don't know what Boondocks is? Oh no!
You don't know what
You don't know
Boondock
what
is?
Boondocks? You know what Boondocks is?
Yes, I got it. I've been watching
Okay.
it. I've
So
been
what
watching
do
the
you
whole
want to do with this, with your drawing? Is that something that you want to do when you get older? You want to create stuff? Or
That phone hand
or
around
right now it's just something that you just like to do?
See?
Okay.
Need.
Well, we appreciate that.
Been in Henry County, Georgia, about 8 years, by way of Albany, Georgia. So South Georgia is where I went to high. You all right over there? I got you. Got it? All right. Attended high school, attended college there. Got my master's out of Troy in Alabama. Long story short, been up here, been in real estate about 4 years or so. So to give you a little background, I didn't start off in real estate. Initially I've been in management, so I've always been in like corporate, Walmart. There's a company up here, Restaurant Depot. I ran that. But at the same time, my dream, my aspiration was always in real estate. Not just to sell houses, more so to just get an understanding of land, get an understanding of what they don't make any more of. So if you know now, they don't make any more of land. Land is probably one of the most valuable things that you can occupy. Because with land, whether it's commercial, residential, there's always a source of money that's tied with it. There's always a source of generation that's tied with it. You can pass it down, assume it over to family members, your children when you get to an age, if you have a business on it, you can do the same thing. All right, and with that, it gives you also collateral. It gives you something to leverage with. You want to buy more land or invest in something else. So being in real estate, one thing I want to say, because you all are young, what's the average age here? What's the average age? 12?
12.
Okay, so you got some years, but I want to put this on your memory. You want to start thinking about growing your assets, and not thinking of just you, but thinking beyond you, thinking about your family, thinking about how you can increase your livelihood wealth within your family. In real estate, be 18 years old to get in real estate. All right, so right after high school, or sometimes in high school, you can start studying real estate. You can start studying, take the test. In Georgia, age 18, you can take the test, get your real estate license. 3 years to be a realtor or a real estate agent. And after those 3 years, you can go for your broker's license. Broker's license, you don't have to split the commission. You can make your own company. All right? You can LLC it out. You can still do that as an agent. But as a broker, you can LLC it out. You can have people working up under you. And you can take their commission splits. And now all you're doing is training them, developing them to sell houses, to buy houses, and then you just reap the rewards. You have your own self-sustained business. So what real estate has done for me is it's opened my eyes to a lot of opportunities, meeting a lot of people, whether it's on a commercial level, residential level. And I say this to draw it back to you all as young black men now. he brought up public speaking. It's a good way to get into it because you're gonna be dealing. If you ever decide to get into real estate, whether you do or not, you're gonna be faced with having to talk to people in and out of daily activities. Uh, Being able to convey or express what you're feeling, what something is, the definition of something to someone else so they can understand it. It's a good way if you hone that skill now, if you tap into that right now, it's gonna give you longevity of leverage from here on out. So you want to make sure that take things that coach is giving you, take these seeds that he's planting with you, take them very seriously because it starts here. The foundation starts here, and being able to go up to someone, introduce yourself, being able to reach out to someone and give them the like-minded thing. This gentleman, we were just talking a few minutes ago. We touched on so many levels because it's just exposure. So any type of exposure that coach is giving you all, whether it's going somewhere else, meet somebody else, introduce yourself, find out what it is that they like to do, find out what they do. You got kids at your age right now that have businesses, and they're maximizing that business. Find out what it is. It could be the same thing that you all are doing and that you like doing on a day-to-day activity, like he asked you about your hobbies. Same thing, but learning how to maximize it and turn it into a business. That's one thing I learned also that taught me with real estate. You learn how to get into it. You learn how to create your own business, how to LLC your business out, how to, when it comes down to taxes, write certain things up. That way, if you're spending money promoting or marketing that business, when it comes down to taxes, you're writing that money off. So now at the end of the day, when you get your taxes back, your mileage, when you're traveling for showing houses, every time you go on to show a house, a different house, that's mileage that you're writing off because that's gas. You can get that money back when you're writing off your taxes. I know taxes kind of over your head right now because y'all don't have a file. But so let me bring it back to right now what you're doing. Let's talk about math. So if you get into real estate, math is something that you're going to have to hone in. And it's not extensive math, but you have to know. They may ask you, a parcel. A parcel is 43,560 square feet. That's an acre of land, all right? When you're figuring out numbers, if there's a situation where you have to draw what they call comps are called comparisons. So you take about 5 houses within the same area, and you draw the comparison of the houses. You take the square footage of the house, you take how many rooms it has, how many bathrooms it has, as well as any amenities with that house, compared to the house that you're trying to sell or even you're trying to purchase. Along with that, what you're gonna do is you take the prices of those houses, and within those prices, you figure out what that house that you're trying to sell or buy falls in, so you can correctly market that house at a certain price. So if all the houses fall between $350,000, $280,000 to $350,000, you know that if they have about the same thing that your house has, you're gonna kind of sell that house about the same amount. All right. So then, where the math comes in is once you sell that house, or once that customer buys that house, you want your commission. That's where your money comes in. Well, for a buyer, your buyer commission is 3% of that price, of that selling price. So say the selling price is about $285,000, give or take. Your commission is 3% of that. All right. Well, if you're not doing your math, the broker can take more money from you, and now you're not making anything. Well, 3% of that 285,000, give or take, you're looking at about 9,000, somewhere around there. That's just on one house. All right. That's not considering the brokerage splits, because you get in with the brokerage, you're doing about 70-30 or 80-20 of a split. So off of that 8,000, you probably giving the brokerage about 20% of that. Not much, about 1,000 or so, the way I do. All right. But you have to look at things like that. So there's a way of making, when you think about money. I know money is a big thing for a lot of kids, a lot of people in general that have money to survive. Real estate is a good way to make your money. You don't have to sell houses to be in real estate. You don't have to have a real estate license to be in real estate. You can do wholesale. You have things like investment. You come across the money to invest, you can invest. Just on a real estate agent perspective, though, there's a lot of ways to make money. Also, you can be a signing agent. A signing agent is a person who goes in and notarizes papers when they're sometimes refinancing, also when they're purchasing at a table. Makes probably within $150 to $200 just per sit down, just notarize, and they're signing your name and stamping. That's what a signing agent does. Also, you can be what they call a showing agent. When I first entered real estate, one of the brokers took me up under her wings. And I became a showing agent. So literally on the weekend, if I didn't have any clients, and she had more clients than me, she would say, "Hey, listen, I got 3 houses in Dunwoody or 3 houses in Henry County that I need to get shown today. Are you available?" "Yeah, I'm good. I'm available." I go show those 3 houses. For each house, I may get $50 just to show it. It's 15 minutes. You get $50 for 15 minutes. Can't beat that.
No, you can't.
Now you take that a weekend, and you're doing that for a couple agents on the weekend. You can make pretty good just being a showing agent. All right. So it's about how you maneuver, how you learn ways to make the money. You know what I'm saying? Make it work for you. Make your money work for you. You know what I mean? Those are just some of the ways. And I know it's a broad aspect, but you ever think about getting into real estate, ever think about learning about it, feel free, reach out to me, reach out to Coach, reach out to me. We'll sit down and talk about it in detail. It's a great avenue to be in. Like I say, it's plenty of money. Like I say, they're not making land anymore. It's one thing that I do. We as a black community, I feel that it's a necessity for us to have some type of knowledge about real estate. Whether you're in it, because you think about it right now, all y'all are staying in a house, right? House, apartment, somewhere, right? There's real estate. All right? You take real estate in terms of this building right here. This is real estate. All right? Your mind is real estate. And so if you look at it like that, your mind is real estate. Is about how much you do with your mind, how much you put into it. It's how much you're going to be able to, how much you invest in yourself mentally, is how much you can leverage with the word. How much you can influence the word. All right? So real estate doesn't have to stop just with the grass, the houses. Look at yourself as real estate. You're prime real estate. What I mean by that is that you can go anywhere you want to go in this world if you put it in yourself. You develop the real estate that's within you, and you can be anything you want to be. All right? So once again, my name is Lee. If you have any questions, I'm here. Coach know how to get to me. I appreciate you again for inviting me out, man. And y'all have a great day.
How old are you to go?
Real estate?
Yes.
Well, for a licensed realtor, have to be 18. But like I say, you don't have to be an agent to get involved in real estate. That you would have to be an agent. That you have to be an agent.
He ready to show right now. He ready to show him right now.
He was like, hey, trust me. If that was the case, I was like, hey, I got one right now to go show. I'll put you on it right now. So yeah, but I mean, it's wishful thinking. But yeah, definitely, man. But it's good that you asked that question. That means that's in your psyche. So I mean, yeah, hold on to that. Because like I say, that's an avenue. You get to that age, my daughter right now, I try to give them, they go with me sometimes on showings and everything, just kind of give them that feel. And it's good sometimes because sometimes you can go to houses that you never thought you would be in. And you see some things and you're like, okay. But it develops the psyche to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I want to live like this one day. Once you start seeing that, man, and you start putting it in your psyche, anything's possible. So, but I mean, the check comes along with it. That's all great, too. Trust me, I've been sometimes, I was in the bed the other day, because I had a homeboy, he reached out to me, he asked me to do it, and he asked me to show a house a couple weeks ago. And I got a hit on my phone. I had money coming in my account. I was like, okay, I wouldn't expect that, but okay, appreciate it. You know what I mean? So it's good when you can have that type of resource or whatever. But yeah.
Any more questions? All right, guys. How you guys doing? All right. So I'm Wendell Rover. I just want you guys to know that I really, really don't take this for granted. All right. And by all means, eat your food while I talk. But I never turned down an opportunity to talk to young kings. Never. I don't care where we at. I don't care how hot it is, how cold it is, because I remember I was you guys' age and someone came and spoke to me. And I looked up to that guy. I was like, man, I want to be like him, right? So a little bit about me, it's not about me, it's about you guys, right? So let me tell you a little bit about me. I heard the average age is like 12, right? All right, so 12, 11, 12, 13, 15, okay. When I was your age, I was driving, I was paying bills, and I was taking care of my mama. You know what I mean? So you can't imagine being 11, 12 driving. I was driving, right? So I said, well, how can I come and share a story with you young kings to try to get your mind span to look broader? That's basically what the gentleman was doing. And it's about exposure, obviously. So, joined the Army, right? Been around the world twice. Been to combat, 4 combat tours. I don't brag about that, but I just talk to kids about it, let them know if you want to go off into the military, that's what comes with it, right? Right, so retired, did 20-some years. I brought my daughter here. I make my daughter come with me just by where I go, right? That's my best friend, right? Say hi, Scott. So that's my little queen back there, and one day one of you guys is going to be her king, or somebody in the world is going to be her king, right? So I don't take advantage. I don't take that lightly. Now, I always wanted to think about, because I did a speech, or I spoke to some kids at Morehouse about 2 years ago. I was telling a gentleman, I was talking to up-and-coming scholars at Morehouse University, right? And these kids would look, they believed that one of these kids in the crowd was the next Barack Obama, believe it or not. And I couldn't believe I was in front of these kids, and they were very articulate and smart, right? So where are we at now, right? So you right here, sir. What do you want to do when you grow up? You want to join the Army. What about you? Entrepreneur, all right? Engineering. Computer science mathematician. Got anybody back here? Big dog. Play overseas. Big man right here with you. I want to be alive. You want to be alive. Hey, you know what? I ain't mad at that. I am not mad at that at all. So you guys touched on a wide variety of things. So how do we prepare, right? How do we, as the OGs, prepare y'all to be the new kings, right? How do we do that? We teach life lesson experiences to you all by way of conversation, right? So when I try to relate to you all and say when I was your age, I was driving, right? Let me tell you a story about that, because I want to talk to you all about struggle and adversity and overcoming it. Whether it's a single family household, whether it's a mother or father not in the house, whether it's losing a sibling, right? That stuff hurt, right? Right? So that's the reality of it. We live to die, unfortunately, but we must take advantage of the living while we can, right? We got to live our life to the best we can. You know what I mean? Say you want to go in the Army. I knew I wanted to go in the Army at 13 years old. You know why? Because they looked like they had all the money. They looked like they had all the nice cars and they had all the benefits. But what they don't tell you, young king, is that system is a big moving system. And they take you places where you may or may not want to go sometimes and make you do things that you may not want to do to get back onto your loved ones, right? So how do we deal with stuff like that? It's all about adversity and overcoming, right? Adversity builds character. So whatever we go through in our life, we have to continue to press forward. You understand where I'm going with this? So once we can push past and get through adversity, we'll be good. Now let's talk about definitive things about that king back there said he want to be alive, right? In our mindset, at times, we look at life like, man, am I gonna get through this thing? So what we gotta do is surround ourselves with a support cast. You guys got support casts right here, right? So when it get tough, you don't make malice decisions. You go talk to the right person, a like-minded person, somebody that can understand what you're going through. You understand what I'm saying? You guys got a bond here, right? You're breaking bread. This is fellowship. This king got fellowship going on here. We ain't in church, but we have some type of service, right? I don't thrust no religion on nobody. I believe in a higher spirit. I'm not a denomination, but we're not even gonna go the spiritual route. I just want to talk to you young kings about living. Life is for the living. We need to continue to live, and I want to help you out as much as I can, right? So again, when I start, I say it's not about me, it's about y'all. So I'm up here about entrepreneurship. I own my own company, right? My goal is to leave that queen back there some money. I don't want her doing no fish fries for me. I don't want her on the corner selling no water trying to put me in the ground. That's not her job. Her job is to be a child and learn as much as she can, just like that's your job. As parents, we gotta own our responsibility because y'all didn't ask to be here, right? But how do we help our parents? We listen, we be obedient, and we follow their guidance. And if our parents cannot provide it for us, we look at coaches, older kings, and learn from them. Your teachers only get you for 5 days a week. Half of them didn't want you there. You see where I'm going with this? So you get life lesson talks out in the streets or out in the world, right? Which can be, some can be good, right? Like you got good students, and some could be bad, just like you got bad students. You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes when we talk to you kids, we're not telling you what we think y'all need to know. We're telling you what we live. We're trying to just guide you a little bit, right? We want y'all to be successful, right? Because what we don't want is y'all being statistics, right? So I do big data analysis, right? I look at a lot of things. I know right now in the United States, right, the average age of African American in confinement is anywhere between 18 to 27 years old, the max rate, right? That's where Bundle brought a lot of young brothers on. Of the collegiate level, we only at an 8 percentile where we need to be for as our popularity when it comes to the number of African American males in the world. Do not let nobody tell you nothing more than you the strongest species on the face of this earth, and they know it. They know it. That's why they're intimidated by us at times. But you keep your chin up, your chest out, and you be who you are. You never, 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 never devalue your worth. Meaning, if you're strong, you got your own mind, and you got Ray Ray over here doing the wrong stuff, get away from Ray Ray. Because 9 times out of 10, Ray Ray's going to do something that's going to get everybody up the road. Because some people just don't want it. You have to want it. If that makes sense. Am I making sense to y'all? Y'all tracking on that? What grade you in? What grade you in? 9. So y'all know Greg Street on the radio? Greg Street, Time to Rock. That's my buddy. Shouts out my daughter every birthday on the radio. Greg talked to me about a week ago, and we talked about the crossroads of life. You're getting ready to get in your first one, man. Your first crossroad of life. High school is one of the first crossroads. You're going to have sex there, possibly. You're going to have people smoking drugs there. You're going to have people skipping school. You're going to have people having babies. You're going to have a whole bunch of stuff going on around you in high school. What are you going to do to make the right decision? Because I'm going to tell you what happened in the first crossroad. And I'm going to shut up and go. In the first crossroad, you're going to have something that passes it. That means they graduated and they prepared themselves to go out into the world, whether it's college or work. Now, what happens to the other people? All right, so this is 9th grade. All of us lined up. I passing, drop out. I'm passing, baby. I'm passing, death. I'm passing, we together. We graduate. Now, all those ones behind did not, unfortunately, make it past the first crossroad of life. That's your first challenge, young king. Do the right thing there. Learn. Do everything you can to be successful. So you can tell these 7th and 8th graders coming behind you how to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, in your 20s, and I'm going to show the crossroads of life, and I'm going to go. In your 20s, you either working or in college. Right? You only got those 2. Crossroad there. Because you're working, college. College, dropouts. College, babies. College, graduate. Work, work, work. You see I'm going this way. Now you got a college graduate and a person who's been working for 4 years. That's the second crossroad of life. Now you become part of society and living, whether it's you're working or owning. Let's get back to ownership because we're talking about entrepreneurship, right? So you're either working for me or you own your own business. I'm telling you now, manual labor only get maybe 15% of the income that comes in for a company that owns it. That's why I want to be an owner. Don't give me $80,000. I want that $550. You see I'm going with this? So I can lead them something. Same thing. Crossroads, young gentlemen. Y'all gonna go through them. And unfortunately, they have put a stereotype on us and say, you ain't no good, you ain't no good, you ain't no good, you ain't no good. But we know in our hearts, y'all the best thing on this world. But y'all gotta believe it. You understand what I'm saying? Believe in yourself. He had y'all up here introducing yourself. Y'all was laughing. Some was nervous. Some didn't want to do it. You kick that door down. I mean, you kick that door down. You come in there and say, I am Wendell Terrell Rover, and I'm here to provide any kind of service you may need. And you be the best of what you can be, whatever you're going to be at. But at the end of the day, don't you put your head down, don't you turn your back, and don't you get nervous. You start now. That little girl back there said, Daddy, I'm nervous of doing this. People in there. Put your butt in there, sit down. You understand where I'm going with this? I'm passionate about it because I care for y'all. I want the best for us. My buddy is the sheriff here, Reginald Scandrett. Me and my daughter did this campaign. We are setting initiatives now. Shaquille O'Neal is the representative for public relationships. We're going to be with Shaq next week. We're trying to get this stuff right, gentlemen. And the only way we can do it is we got to do things like this. We got to get engaged with the coaches. We got to come by and talk to the kids. We got to get you everything you need. Yeah, I could have brought Shaq in here, but y'all wouldn't have paid me no attention. But maybe we can get him on the next one. You see where I'm going with this?
You got to earn that.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't get it. You see what I'm saying? So I trust the process and believe in it. And I want you guys to do the same, man. I don't know none of y'all from the campaign. I think we laid eyes on you for the first time this morning. But I can tell you now, I got a purpose in life, and you all do too. You just gotta live it. You understand what I'm saying? You just gotta live it. I ain't coming to preach to nobody. I'm just keeping it 100. Can't nobody tell me not too much, a little bit about life. Been shot at, then did some shooting, been in jail, been homeless, couldn't read. I was in reading from 6th grade to 12th grade. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the smartest kid in class. I got a bachelor's, I got a master's. I done been around the world twice and I got promoted to the highest rank you can get in the Army. But what does that mean if I don't do nothing on giving back, young people? Absolutely nothing. We tracking? That's all I'm saying. Be careful out there. You be careful out there. You get what you need and you get on. You know what I mean? Because it's hunting season, unfortunately. And we the prey. So what do? We protect our coon, right? Keep them little cubs behind us. It's our job. It's our job. We're going to put y'all behind us. We take the first hit. But you got to listen. Can't go swing left and right. And then we can't protect you. Mama can't protect you. Daddy can't protect you. Because you allowed yourself to get in the system. That ain't what we want. Because systematically, you profit gain. They get $30,000 a year per prisoner. It's privatized.
You know that?
Big business. Yeah. A prisoner. A prisoner. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a business.
You just do the math.
Just do the math. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all.
That's why they want it.
That's why they want it. That's why they want it. So what we doing now is.
That's more than making that McDonald's.
Hey, no, you good, bro.
That's more than what people make at McDonald's who actually working a job and staying out the way.
That's what some people make in warehouses.
At warehouse, 30,000.
30,000 a head is what they get. And right now, that dress changing it.
And look at the bills that they make feed.
Right.
Slop.
But at the end of the day, we're not going there, right?
No, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We're not going there. I had to learn a valuable lesson because when I was growing up and I was homeless and we moved into a neighborhood, and I know y'all probably wonder, well, how the heck you turn all that around? That was God. That was my higher spirit. Because he took us out of subsidized housing. My mom qualified for a program that thrusted us in the suburbs. I'm like, ain't no graffiti over here. Ain't nobody shooting. Ain't nobody smoking this, doing that. They got dogs, birds, chirping, grass in the front yard. Kids got their own TVs. I'm like, shoot, me and my mom, my sister was on the bed. Turn the TV, boy, you know, that kind of lifestyle. But they thrusted me in a neighborhood full of military people. And that is what changed the definition of my life, right there. Because Covington Navy got out of his car, he got out that Mustang, he had his hat on, and he had that walk, he had them awards, he had them shiny shoes, he had that glistering belt. I never forget it like yesterday, I was your age. I said, I want to be just like him. Not no dope dealer, not no rapper, none of that crap. I want to be like him. Because I knew what he was doing for his family. You understand what I'm saying? So find somebody that you want to emulate. Get their blueprint. It was already written. You just gotta follow. Don't go out there trying to remake it. Fair enough? This has been a blessing, man. I appreciate you guys' time. I thank you for letting me come here. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you my personal business card. All right? I will do some hiring if you want to make a little money. You ready for it? All right. You know what I'm saying?
You already know.
We good?
So before you listen, we talk about y'all staying out of jail, right? So do not try to pass this off as real money.
Oh yeah.
It's not. Alright. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am Dr. Juanita. My doctorate or PhD is in counseling. You're gonna hear this go off every minute. Alright, so who's my youngest? Prince Ethan. Get your name right. Alright, you're my youngest. I'm here to talk to you about money. Okay? That's real money for you. Alright, I'm gonna use. So tell me what is money? Yes.
Currency.
Currency. Money is currency. And she said money is currency, and you took the risk to answer my question first. That's for you.
No.
All right, somebody else tell me. What is money?
Currency.
No.
Good answer, but I heard that before. What is money? That's it. That's all we know that money is currency. Anything else? What can you do with money? With it, you can spend it, you can buy stuff. Okay, what else can you do with money? You can invest. All right, what else? You can save it. Good answer. So money's currency. Money you can invest with it. Money you can save it. Money you can use. Is money good or is money bad? Good.
The bad is both.
Good, but bad, but both.
Yeah.
You know what the thing about one day? Younger than you about one day.
Got into the rings.
Okay, so you can invest it, you can use it. Money's a resource, money's a tool, right? Money's neither good nor bad. Money is something that you can use. Same thing, let me ask you this question. Rich people are people who will buy whatever they want, okay? Wealthy people, people who invest.
Nah.
Poor people are people who doesn't have money, doesn't have a house.
People that's in the
People who probably had money and blew through it. People who are in the trenches. All right. People who didn't use their money as a resource, right? People who might have given their money away. People who might not spend their money wisely. In 10th grade, I fell in love with accounting. The gentleman was talking about real estate and 3%. He said it was about $8,000. So I sat there and did the math. It's $8,550. If he's just expecting $8,000, he's already shorted himself $550. Real estate is important. You want to make sure that and that's one of the keys to wealth. Things that they're not making any more of because they're not making any more land. What is wealth? Perhaps having a lot of money.
No.
Spending your money wisely, investing. I hear investing coming up a lot. What y'all know about investing?
I know a lot.
You do? What do you know about investing?
Like say, like you can franchise in business and stuff like that.
You can franchise. You done talked about investing, franchise, and business. I'm impressed. How old are you?
15.
Keep up the good work. Franchise, investing, business. What else do we know about wealth?
Well,
Kind of hard.
Kind of hard.
Resources.
What do we know about debt? Something you owe. Do we know more about debt than we know about wealth?
yeah, I do.
So I would encourage you and challenge you to learn more about wealth than you know about debt. Because words matter. If we continue to talk about debt, that's all we're going to have.
He can agree this is it. Damn.
If we continue to talk about debt, that's all we're going to have. What you see is what you get. Y'all not even paying attention. You're fine.
You see that money?
What you see is what you get, right? So if you continue, if all you talk about is debt, that's all you're going to get. But if you begin to change your words, you can change your environment and change your atmosphere. So instead of talking about debt management, you want to begin to talk about wealth management. You You want to hang around people that are talking about investing and businesses and entrepreneurship. You're either an employer or an employee. You can be both, but you're going to either be an employer or an employee. Which one do you want to be? And what's an employer? You provide business, so you're able to pay people, or you have people working for you, as opposed to you necessarily working for someone else. How the rule goes is either you're funding somebody else's dreams, or you're funding your own. You're investing in somebody else's dreams, or you're investing in your own. We talk about investment. Do you own anything in somebody's company? Do you own shares or stock in anybody's company? But what are you wearing? Look like y'all got some name brand stuff on.
Where you getting money for sitting down?
What's the name of that shirt y'all got? What's the brand? What's the brand of that shirt y'all got?
I can't even read the back.
Creative Mind Elevation.
Oh, that's what it says.
No, that's the brand.
So the brand is Creative Mind Innovation. So who made money off of that?
The brand.
The brand. Who paid money for it? Guys. Another thing you want is your money to work as hard for you as you work for it. All right. So you have on Nike. If you're a Nike fan, maybe you should look at having stock or ownership in Nike, so that when you're spending money, you're making money as well. If you like Bose headphones, maybe you look at what does it take to have stock in Bose headphones. There's a boy. He's a grown man now, but we use our phones a lot. I want you to look up a kid named Damian Williams at some point. Just remember that name, Damian Williams. He started investing. I think he was like 14 years old. Well, at 14 years old, he was supposed to be a millionaire because he started investing as a young kid. Okay, and his mom made sure he understood what he invested in. So, what do you like to eat? What do you like to drink?
Chicken.
Do you like chicken for a particular restaurant or just chicken in general? So, where the most money is made is in chicken as opposed to just one restaurant. So that's important. I love that you said chicken and not a particular place. A couple of things about money. Okay, money has energy, right? Anybody hang around a lot of broke folks with no money? Right. If you are, for lack of a better phrase, if you are the person in your group that has the most money, you need new friends. I encourage you to have new friends.
See, I don't. We already know it's something that time.
You'll have more one.
Ethan is because he's opening his mouth. He's opening his mouth.
Can you put your $5 back on the table? I'm not going to take it. Good for you. Put it away. So, real quick, there's some simple things about money. It's a resource, it's a tool, it has energy, right? You want to draw money to you, you want to speak positively, you want to talk about wealth as opposed to debt. You want to understand how money makes money. What Prince Ethan is taking advantage of is something called compound interest. What that is you let your money sit there and you nothing. You let your money sit there and it makes money. Like so that song, give me that big bank takes little bank. You gotta have money in order to make money. All right. So he got $1 when he first called. When I asked him his age, that's why he got $1 because he was younger. And the longer you let your money sit there, the longer your money can grow. That's a principle called compound interest. All he had to do was let his money sit there. And I kept adding money to it, kept adding money to it, kept adding money to it. That was why I set the timer. Why he got the $5 is because he answered a question. He took the risk. Usually the first person to take the greater risk stands for the ability to make the greatest amount of money. How money works is the higher the risk, the higher your ability to make money. He took a risk just by talking to answer questions. I asked what he thought. It could have been right, it could have been wrong. He didn't know what I was looking for. But he took the risk of asking the question. So let's make believe that he just now started investing his $5. He's still halfway behind Ethan. Ethan already has, how much money do you have in front of you? How much already 50% left, and he's already behind the power curve, although he's just a day older. He started later than him. So you want to start saving your money, right? You know, you want to, how do you earn money in order to save it? Doing stuff to make money. How can you do stuff to make money? Doing stuff around the house, job, yep. Yes, good answer. He said, I'm gonna have to call this number. Because the gentleman said, how can you wanna make money? Are you ready to make money? So have those conversations with the adults and the guardians in your life, the grown folks. Talk about money. When I was growing up, my parents didn't talk about money. Like they didn't say nothing about money. I didn't know anything about money. But I wanted to teach people how to manage their money. So you tell your money where to go, so you're not wondering where it went. You want to have a budget or a spending plan, something to do with your money. Okay? Any questions about money? Because I'm not going to take up much of your time. One of the biggest things about time and money is that time is money. And in order to make money, you have to show up. So for showing up today,
I just like put a whole water on it. I might buy me some 2000
gift card. Just for showing up.
So can I trade these?
I like to go back into.
Hey,
I would like to have.
I'll tell you.
My wife.
Hey, straight. Hey.
Right? You want to save your money. The rule of thumb is for every dollar you get, save at least 10%, and you want to give 10% to yourself. Because everybody else is taking your money, and that's the goal of the game. They're looking for ways to separate you from your money. Your goal is to make sure you keep the money. So again, you want to show up. You want to learn about money. Talk about money. Surround yourself with people who know about money. Did somebody say they wanted to go to the NBA or something? I thought I heard that. Because y'all playing basketball, one of the stats I looked up was Kobe's first contract. He had a 3-year contract that was for $3.5 million. Mm-hmm. So that was a little more than $1 million a year he was earning. However, $500,000 of that was probably already gone in taxes and to other fees. Every time an NBA player plays a game out of his home state, he's taxed. It's called a job tax. So you're taxed because you're making money in another state. So if you live in a state that doesn't charge taxes, then you're not taxing that, but you're having to pay money. Let's say that first year he decided he wanted to pay off his mama house. A house kind of around here might be $150,000. Let's say he wanted to have a Range Rover, a long Range Rover, because everybody that play basketball tend to be tall, so you want room for you and your boys. That's $175,000. So he might be down to less than $300,000 now, and still having to pay taxes. So you want to know your money. You don't want anybody to know more about your money than you. When you go into the NBA, then you want to save. Don't put all your money on your career. Don't blow it. And you want to insure yourself, because what happens if there's an injury and you can't play anymore? Right. That's why education is important. Yep, you can go to a 4-year college and get a degree, but I encourage you to have a trade or a skill set too. It's okay if you go to JUCO or community college for 2 years and you walk away with an associate's degree. At least you have a degree, and then continue to get education. Like I said, I have my PhD in counseling. I have made twice my age every year of my life since I was 24 years old, which might not seem like a lot of money, but at least I'm doubling like my age and salary. So when I was 24, I was making $50,000, and continuing to double my money in terms of just working. And it helps to have a degree. I own a couple of businesses. I am a notary. When he mentioned that you can have a signing agent, you get paid to notarize real estate documents, at like $300. To talk to people about money, I get paid $250 a half hour, just to have simple conversations like these.
You said $250.
$250 for a half hour.
30 minutes.
She said per. That means
Per.
for every 30 minutes she get paid $250.
So for the hour,
For
she
an
gets
hour.
$500. Y'all can do simple math.
Okay? Just to talk to people about
Caught that big
money.
lady?
So understand, people are going to charge you to talk to them about money.
But can you tell them how much you would make if you were just sitting, if you were working for somebody else talking about money? Would you make that $500 an hour? Or would that probably go down to $50 an hour? Less than that.
That might be. So I do this on a full-time capacity for the military. Gentleman that said he was in the military, I work at Fort Gillum. I might make $27 an hour for that. Versus doing it for myself,
Making
all of that's
$500 an
$500
hour.
an hour is all mine.
You see that big jump? That's a huge jump.
Ownership.
One day.
Well,
Today.
and that day can be today.
Today.
Start today. I also tell you beware about the company you keep. You talk about college graduates. Just had a friend. We went to the same undergraduate school. He was on national news last week. He was killed in a shootout with the Mexican cartel. A Spanish teacher at a school in North Carolina. You don't believe me? His name is Barney Harris. Barney Harris. Barney was a founding member of a Black Greek organization at my college. Would have had no idea. Barney went into this stash house with a bulletproof vest on and was killed. College graduate, spoke Spanish. He was the head basketball coach at a charter school in Union County, North Carolina. His wife called because he didn't come home the night before. Called his best friend. His best friend is one of my best friends. Barney didn't come home. While she was talking to the best friend, the police showed up to tell her husband was dead. Her husband died hanging out with one of his boys from back in the day. And they were running drugs and tried to rob some members of the Mexican cartel. Be careful of the company that you keep. Okay? The gentleman said he just wanted to be alive. That moved me. I didn't think I was going to be able to speak. I lost my brother at the age of 13 years old to a rare form of cancer. Had no idea. I totally understand just wanting to be alive. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak with you gentlemen here. I wish you just continued success. Listen to all the people around you. Remember, big bank, take little bank. So you got to start somewhere, and you got to make your money and save your money too. Any questions? You're welcome to tell the adults in your life. You guys can have conversations with me about money at no cost. Because in order to get money, you also have to give it. So this is part of my giving and investing in you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Journey to prison, things of that. See where we're going. It's all about the choices, like he was talking. So I made some choices in life, but I fought through the adversity. I'm here today like that brand that y'all are wearing on y'all. Like, I fought through the adversity and own my own business. So I just want to say y'all can do anything y'all want to do, no matter what background of life y'all come from. I didn't have much. I had a single mother parent household with like 7 or 8 children in there. Youngest of 5 boys. I got to fight for one pair of pants and shoes to wear to school. So, money is big. Like she was just talking about. So I want to say this. In life, in the universe, color, race, religion, all these things are small. You're a black man first. Know who you are. When you step outside your door, when you're talking to coach, embrace that confidence. You're a black man. Know your current events, what's going on out here in the world. You're a black man. You know what's happening to black men out here. You gotta be careful out here. Keep that money. Adversity, fighting through adversity. Keep all that in mind. Those are good points. I'm blessed to be in front of you guys. I'm blessed to be a part of the panel that was here. Like I said, I ain't gonna be brief, but hopefully, just my heartfelt testimony. I have you guys remember some of this stuff. It'll take you on far in life. Like, I ain't gonna hold you up too many times, but that's what I wanna leave that with y'all. So that's my time.
Lord used to work for me. No, I ain't gonna go there. He used to work for me. You remember too? Okay, yeah. So he used to be a part of the program and definitely do a lot of stuff around here. So he wanted to rap with you guys about some stuff so you guys can get a a very clear understanding of everything that we just told to you guys. Now, you don't got the information about money. You don't got it about real estate. You don't got it about the military. You don't got it about having to drop out of school to raise a baby and had to deal with drugs and just dealing with adversity at all. Now, his situation is a story that is very, very close to home. And I want you to really pay attention and listen. All right?
Alright, so on March 10th, 2021, I had a bulletproof vest set to be purchased, right? And I was asked, like, what do you need a bulletproof vest for? And I said, being a black man out here, it doesn't matter where you're at, suburbs or not. I thought it was just best to have it, because you never know what can happen. And it was set, now keep the dates in mind, March 10th, 2021. That was set to be sent to my house. March 8th, 2021. I said I wasn't going to leave the house. I was just going to chill out for the day because mom was working. So I just threw on some joggers, t-shirt. I'm like, I'm just going to stay home. And someone called me and said, hey, I'm at my ex-boyfriend's house and my car's been stolen. Can you take me to my grandma's so I can set up a police report? Now, this girl, she's helped me out when I didn't have a car. She took me to take my kids to school and stuff like that. She was my neighbor at one point. So I was like, okay, and since I've known her, she's never done anything without a grandma. She's young. So I was like, okay, I could, I'll come get you, send me the address. She sent me the address, it's only 5 minutes away. I'll just go do this real fast. So when I got there, I saw her car rolling up on the curb, and I saw a guy in it looking down at the phone, and he stopped and parked. So I just pulled in front of her car, and in the rearview mirror, I just see her run out of the house, the address that she gave me. She ran out of the house, jumped in her car from the passenger side, and she starts arguing with this guy. And he snatches her phone, jumps out the car. She does the smart thing. She closed all the doors, locked them. Now she's locked in her car that's still running. So I'm just like, okay, there's no point in me being here anymore. I'm just gonna leave. Now we're pointing at a cul-de-sac. And she starts to pull off, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let her go past, turn around, and I'm gonna do the same. So as she's turning around, the guy that was in her car walks up to my truck and says, you could leave. And I looked over at him, never said a word to him. I just ignored it, started driving. Turned around, we're both headed out. She's driving in front of me, she's in the car, I'm in the SUV. We're just driving out of nowhere, a lot of gunshots. 15 shots into the back of my truck. 6 of those shots hit me. 2 days before my bulletproof vest was there. I get hit 3 times in my back. Once in my back shoulder, in my neck. When I got hit in my neck, I turned to get under the steering wheel. Because the first thing I did was cover my head. And I'm glad I did, because when I went to identify my truck, bullet holes all through the headrest. Bullet holes all down my kids' car seats. Luckily, I was by myself. I turned my head to get under the steering wheel, and that's when I got shot in my face. And after that shot, I literally told myself in my head, if I get shot one more time, I'm gonna die. Because I done got hit everywhere, and the next one is gonna be through my throat, through my head, somewhere else. Because it seemed like he was just kind of waving the gun. This is a random act of violence. I was called into something that was a domestic dispute that I didn't know was going on. It literally was random. And of course, when detectives questioned me, they want to know if it was some gang stuff, if he was a rival, and they just don't believe the fact that this was just random. And after I got shot, I started driving. Now the first shot that hit me took my right arm, caused nerve damage. My right arm is hanging down. I can't squeeze my fingers. I can't move my arm at all. So at this point, I have swelling past my eye. I have broken windshield and glass everywhere. Now I'm driving with glass flying everywhere. I'm looking out only my right eye, driving with just my left arm. A bullet went right through my back, right next to my spine. If that bullet would have hit my spine, I probably would have died because I wouldn't have been able to push down on the pedal. I wouldn't have been able to move my lower half. But I drove myself from Clayton County all the way to the Henry County precinct. That's, I don't know how many miles that is, but
It's about 15, 20 minutes.
like,
Where y'all at? Where you stay at now?
I was further down. I was at exit 2.
Oh, by Rex.
Yeah, I was in Rex.
Yeah.
I was at exit 2. I drove
15
all the way to the precinct, and I was gonna go to the hospital, but I felt myself losing breath. So I saw the police station. I said, okay, I'm gonna turn in here because I know police have certain training when it comes to health. So I said, I'm gonna turn in here and I'm gonna just, get out and see what they can do for me. I was still doing 100 miles per hour. Tried to turn in. I hopped the curb. As soon as I hopped the curb, I told myself I'm about to crash. If these bullets didn't kill me, this crash might. I took my seatbelt off. I slid my driver's seat back. I kicked myself towards the back seat. Crashed. Pushed the whole front end in. Couldn't open the driver door. I kicked the door open and I jumped out of the car. At this point, my phone is ringing like crazy because the girl went straight to my house. And she told Mindy, I don't know if y'all know Mindy, that's wise. She told her, she said, hey, I need you to call him. I need you to call him. I don't know what's going on. I heard gunshots. So this whole time, my phone is ringing, like as I'm driving. The girl tried to keep up with me, but I went around her and I was gone. And when I tried to turn in, that's when I crashed. I couldn't get the driver door open, so I kicked it open. I jumped out and walking through the parking lot. There's people on the phone. They're like, hey, it's been an accident. I said, let them know I've been shot. And they were like, you've been shot? And I was like, yes. I'm sitting on the bench outside of the police station. 3 police ran out when I said I was shot. One of them ran back in. So I'm sitting on the bench. I'm holding my arm. I'm losing breath. I'm telling everybody, I'm like, hey, can you take me to the hospital? It's only about 2 miles up the road. Can somebody please take me to the hospital? See, I completely forgot that there's a fire station. And the first few times that I was shot, it wasn't random. This is stuff that I've got myself into. And I'm here because God has a purpose for me. And I'm through everything that I've been through. And there are people that you know right now that will be shot in their life because they're making the wrong decisions. You're in high school right now. So I know people that's claiming to be a blood, claiming to be a crib, and these people never been through anything, ever. And when you got this fake blood that's gonna run into a real crib, it's not gonna be a good thing. Because they're walking around saying words where they're taking C's out and putting B's, and they're ruling this and blah, blah, blah. And they can run into a crib, don't know he's a crib because he's wearing all black. And he hears this person say that, just because it's trendy and they think that it makes them cool. And then this person gets into an altercation, and this person could get shot one time and not be as fortunate because he wanted to be something that he wasn't. I have any of that. I've been homeless before. When I say I've been through everything, I've been through everything. When I was 7 years old, 1998, I've been shot 13 times, and I'm about to be 30 in a couple weeks. When you get older, you realize how young 30 actually is. When I was younger, I always thought, oh, you're 30, you're old. But when you get older, you realize how young 30 actually is.
I'm gonna start to live till you get 30.
Pretty much. To the streets, y'all gonna feel that every day.
Well, you always got to tell you heard what I said? Where I said that person from? Oh, that's what you get for talking. Stop talking so much. I said, this is somebody who is from my neighborhood, back home. Where I grew up at, where I'm from, head people know my people know head people. So
Chicago.
no, bruh, Chicago is up north.
I thought you said you was from Albany.
That's where I'm from.
He's from Chicago. I'm from Albany, South Georgia.
Oh.
He does graphic design. He do anything you need to do in art world. He can do it. All right. So you said you like art. That's the person you need to be talking to and listening to.
But hey, y'all, I'm start with my name. My name, Bernard Wood Lofton, you know what I'm saying? But my name kind of hyphenated, like I was married to my son to the street type of thing, but keep it all the way, like my dad been all over, so my dad went back when I was a child, he went back to time my birth certificate, so I ended up with 2 last names, so my name Bernard Wood and hyphen Lofton, you know what I'm saying? But also on the flip side, coming up, you know what I'm saying? How y'all have a nickname when y'all coming up on the street? My nickname was Pooh. Like growing up all the way here on the streets, tell me my name, they used to call me Pooh. When I started doing music and middle school, I started writing Pooh on my CD. It was Young P.O.O. Then from there, my name got Trent, you know what I'm saying? One of my friends said my name P.O.O. And from there, he loved that P100. And from there, I started putting P100, doing my music on the P100. But when I got to college, I was going by P100, but also I kind of had the idea to write a book. I felt like I could write a book doing music, so I decided to write a book. I wrote a few books, but I didn't want to put my real name on my book, which was Bernard. That's crazy, man. I didn't really want to put P100 on the book. So at that time on the campus at the art school, I went to the art institute, like Kobe said. Like we used to have like debates or what they call like ciphers and stuff like that, like knowledge type of presentation. We'll read a lot of books, talking, converse, and build and stuff like that. To the point that me being from the South and on that campus in Atlanta, going by P100, I translated my name to 100%. So some of my friends in these ciphers started calling me Infinite percent. So I started going by Infinite. You know what I'm saying? So I started writing my books under the name Infinite. So I just want to give y'all a brief introduction of my name. I do, like my brother said, I do a lot of stuff. I do web design, graphic design, logo, building, card, album cover, mixtape cover. Like I said, I'm a writer. I got 4 books self-published. They all on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com. And I do music. Like with my man right there, Street Nitty the promoter. He know what I'm saying? He be booking me and me doing a lot of shows. We do like event like about 2 to 5 events a week. You know what I'm saying? All over the city, south side, north side, like performing on the music and on the network. That what we here today, you know what I'm saying? Brother asked me to come speak about culture. I had think to myself like with the culture, like I went on. Evaluate the word in my head. When you think about culture, like I start with y'all, when you think about culture, what do you think about? I'm gonna start with you, big man.
Culture, big baby.
What about you?
Black, like, yeah, the culture is like black people, like.
What about you? What about you, big money? So I went so I feel like I'm the most culture person I know to that shit. So I went on did look at the definition of culture. It say the custom, art, social institution, and achievement of a particular nation, people, social group. Kind of like you said, like with black, different, you know what I'm saying, different variations. We say we got American culture, we got basketball culture, we got, you know what I'm saying, sport culture, like everything when you break it down like that, the culture thing. So I was like, okay, to get more decisive, all look kind of black, I take it to hip hop culture. Like, I don't know if y'all familiar, like the original term of hip hop we used to, back when I was young, like, even though we still grew up on the hot boys and stuff like that, but they used to tell that hip hop was an acronym for higher, infinite powers healing our people. And there were 5 elements of hip hop back then. You had the MC, the DJ, the graffiti art, the dancing, you know what I'm saying? Then you had the, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these 5 elements were made hip hop. That was the culture of hip hop in the beginning. We got to factor in the fact that we ain't have our own magazine, we ain't have our own show, we ain't have a lot of stuff. So we used to tell our story from our music. Just think about it right now, we got these phones at our hand. We can look up something quick on Google and find out something quick. But you got to go back in our time, like about 5 or 10 years ago, we didn't have these type of phones. Like we had them little Nokia, like playing Snake on phones. It was like when we was in 9th and 10th grade. Like, if we wanted to learn information or something big, we probably had to go to the library and read a bunch of books, like encyclopedia.
Hey, pretty much telling them when you go to Walmart, you see them phones in them little green boxes.
Yeah.
The ones that y'all overlook. And they ain't getting that bullshit.
Man,
That's what we had to have.
And I'm gonna tell you, like, what's so crazy, y'all take so serious. Like, y'all can talk unlimited. We used to have to wait to talk at 9.
At 9 o'clock. You couldn't have no conversation till 9 o'clock.
Yeah, your man where you can't have no conversation till after 9 o'clock. So you gotta look like technology going fast. So with hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like we ain't have no mail or nothing to tell our own story. So with the music in the beginning, we used to tell our story in the music. Like we learned about LA, like the game culture from music. We learned about New York. You know what I'm saying? With the what's the name from music? Like even now in the South, we learned about South. We learned about the culture of the South through music. So I want to touch on this, going into the art. I am an artist, you know what I'm saying, in a sense. So I'm gonna kind of take it to artists. So, and what I seen, like, I use this example, you know what I'm saying, because when we get into technology, I learned this in school. So before the period before art, like we were dealing with the artists used to get like 15 to 2,000 to paint a portrait. Like say for instance, big man, like you want to run it, you want to get to a self-portrait paint. You'll go talk to an artist, you know what I'm saying? He charged me like 15 to 2,000. Even before the camera was invented. So when the camera came into play, that knocked their business out. Now he can't charge like 2,000, you know what I'm saying, for that same that he was getting. He can't charge 2,000 more. So he gotta create a way to make money doing, you know what I'm saying, painting in a way that he can't compete with the camera. Yeah, so he can make money. So I'm saying that to say that's what technology do. As a web designer, and I used to get paid $2,000 to design a hand coded website. But right now, you got websites that you can build a website yourself. To the point that you can do all that for under $200. So I'm getting paid for just to distribute information. Like you getting, you know what I'm saying, information is key in that time. Like just to know how to do something. That's how you can make something happen. And then going to a music background, you used to just take music. I don't know if y'all want to be an artist or do music. Back then, y'all had 8-hour tapes and stuff like that. People used to spend like $2,000 or a couple of $100,000 just to record one song. Just to record one song. That's why the people that y'all, like back then on the day that y'all seen the music industry, that was right. Because just to make those tapes cost $2,000. But right now, you can get a house studio set up for under $200. Get you a little microphone, 100 USB mic. Get you a little Pro Tool. You can get all that set up for under $200. So you still, like, technology growing. So it's like us as people, you know what I'm saying, like, they stay ahead of the curve. Like, you know what I'm saying, we got to constantly learn. We got to keep our head in these books. Because right now, you know what I'm saying, on some real stuff that happened, I don't know if y'all pay attention to Bitcoin. Coinbase just went global, well, they just went public when? Yeah, if y'all had stock, if people had stock in Bitcoin, you know what I'm saying? I paid, since it came out 2016, people had like, just off on Wednesday when Coinbase went public, a lot of people came millionaires. Just by having stock in Bitcoin.
What that new coin they all invested, dog coin?
No,
Coin dog.
Dogecoin. But all of the whole umbrella is called Coinbase. That's the blockchain. The whole umbrella is Coinbase. Okay. So all of it fall up on Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all crypto.
So no matter what coin hit you out, everybody.
Yeah, everybody hits. Okay. Big Dogecoin, the high one right now. But people that had Dogecoin, man, they up. They up.
I don't see
they up.
Only invested $100 and hit for $100,000.
And they just have been winning. Man, but so going back into you know what I'm saying? Going back into the art of things with the camera, you know what I'm saying? We is in the sport. I'll talk about my little sport. Like I did play basketball, I did play football. It wasn't my thing, but I knew how to play. When you got people like Kobe and all my cousins doing, like they played football, they played all of them on the basketball team, all of them on the football team, they telling me to play all this. So I did play long enough to get my coat. I got my arm in high coat. I got my letterman. But I tell y'all one experience, one night I'll never forget, you know what I'm saying, playing football. I was on special team. They kicked the ball down there. And I would have first went down there. Shit, man, I died at the man trumped me so damn hard. Imagine me the first went down that year, everybody see you getting Hey man, and then the first play of the game. First play of the game. Hit stick. First play of the game.
Before the hit stick came out on man, they ain't even had a hit stick on man.
I ain't gonna lie, when they sit down in the bench and fake an injury though, but no, I
Oh, man.
I kept it cool though, you know what I'm saying? I kept it cool. I got out there and played, but and for my defense though, I used to wear glasses, but I wasn't wearing glasses a lot of times.
No, in your defense, you wasn't wearing glasses. That's what made you start wearing your glasses. See, you got to have life changing stuff. You know, that was life changing.
Yeah, that was life changing. The first play of the game, but I know I ain't gonna close that. I got 2 more points I want to say. Like, know somebody saying like, when you made that point, man, like it ain't that many people in here. Like one of my favorite people in history, Marcus Garvey. I came across this book called Rastafari. I think the guy was named Clifton Barrella or something like that. It's a green book with a Rasta on a guy, but it tells a segment about Marcus Garvey. He was he said he went back to Jamaica to start preaching about the UNIA, which was his program, African for the African. If y'all don't know about Marcus Garvey, he created an international movement right after slavery for all black people all across the world. Biggest movement known in history. But what he did though when he went back to Jamaica, that's his hometown. So he had that Jesus statement, like everybody looking at him like, oh, that Marcus Garvey, we know you know what I'm saying? We grew up with that nigga. Like, why are we trying to listen to you? So what the brother used to do, and I read it was like told from a story of the person who used to walk by. He'll say we setting up a meeting Saturday. He'll say that cane in the ground, put his hat on top of his cane, and go talking, you know what I'm saying, promptly. So this sister that was telling the story from her account, she was like, for about months on time, you know what I'm saying, she was recording about a couple of weeks or a month. She was like, sometimes the man just out there talking to the cane. Nobody was showing up. You know what I'm saying? He just out there talking to the cane, like, that's how dedicated and serious, you know what I'm saying, when that resonated with me. Like, when you seriously believe in something, no matter who show up, you just gotta stay down. But by him being consistent like that for about a month or two, he was able to eventually win Jamaica. Jamaica ended up becoming one of the big UNIA chapters after that time. But he had to go through the hardship. Like everybody, you have that hardship in your hometown when you trying to prove. He had already got accepted throughout the world, but when he went back to Jamaica, it was just looking like, oh, this is Marcus Garvey. Like, we know you, nigga. We grew up with you. But by him being consistent, and even to the point of standing out here looking crazy, talking to the cane on their head, just that consistent, continue to do that, like people saying, like that dedication, when your belief, you know what I'm saying, and go through like that, man, like that passion, like nobody can take your passion from you. When you passionate about what you do and you love what you passionate about, like, man, you definitely can move them out. And like closing, and you know what I'm saying, I learned about another artist in school, the guy by the name of Milton Glaser. He was like a world renowned like graphic designer, you know what I'm saying? Him and White came together, they created a magazine, but he the guy that created the I Heart New York logo. But what he did was he gave the New York, you know what I'm saying, that logo during the recession and all that. He was like, he wanted to create something that'll unite New York to kind of start bringing them people together. It's something called New York, kind of using it for I guess in the business world or whatnot. So when he created the logo, it was like he ended up, he gave it away, but it kind of ended up bringing more business to him, to his establishment. But he came up with a quote, he said this right here, and it stuck in my mind. He was like, art is a free expression, but design is the business of art. So I had to think about that. As an artist, a lot of times as artists, like we try to put ourselves in the mix. Like when we doing something, whether we doing our music or whether we creating a program or whether we doing something, we try to put ourselves in it. Well, we ain't thinking about nobody. When you designing something, you designing with somebody else in mind. Your intention is for somebody else. But as an artist, your intention is for self. Like, I'm just trying to be heard. But when you designing something, you automatically taking yourself out. That when the business come in. Like, even though, you know what I'm saying, Kobe could have been selfish. Like, bro been playing basketball. He was good in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even just saying, like, bro, you know what I'm saying, could have taken it. He was that good. I grew up with him, man. Like, I ain't just on bro, you know what I'm saying, nuts and then like that, but he was good. They used to write articles about him, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So, I'm saying that to say, like, with this program right here, they're like the most selfless thing the man did. Like, he put a lot of his money into this in the beginning. The man started this, like, about 5 or 10 years ago when we were working at the pet store.
10 years we were working at the pet store.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, he created it out. He was like, man, bro, I'm going to start doing this. And he just been building on it since then.
Yeah, I brought him in at to work for me at the pet store. I wanted to go start teaching. Had to train somebody to take over my position. He was the person I trained to take over. Because I knew it wasn't for me. It was for me, but it wasn't for me. You know, that's when I started teaching.
Yeah, he started doing after school programs. And he ate, man, not bro, no saying in his own gym. Like 10 years later, that's just consistency and grind, like being passionate about something that you care about. You know what I'm saying? He probably wasn't able to play basketball. He ain't hurt himself there. He was like, okay, he still playing it through y'all. And you know what I'm saying?
And what do I always tell y'all? Be better than who? You. Be better than you. Be better than you. I didn't go far because I didn't have a support system. You got to have a support system. This is a support system. Even if it ain't 20 people paid their money to be here with y'all, only 4 of y'all showed up. So, you know, regardless of what, you got to have all the tools. Skills just ain't gonna be enough. Money ain't gonna be enough. You got to have that support system.
That's why y'all just learn all different levels, not just one. They can use it as an advantage.
And I'm gonna close out with this. Like, I do music and all this, but my thing is this, and I want people, you know what I'm saying, not to fall in the trap. Like, I was trying to produce rap artists and all this. With art world, the art world, me being an artist, the art really is like promotion. You know what I'm saying? When you start looking at art in the sense of the business, it hard to calculate art in the sense like businesses spend millions of dollars on marketing every year. And not a lot of times the marketing don't necessarily guarantee them pushing no product.
Right.
That don't guarantee them. They're guaranteed that their unit's gonna get sold, but they still gotta spend their money to let their product be known. They can have a billboard and might not get no sale on their billboard, but they still gotta pay for advertising.
That goes back to what you were saying about Marcus Garvey and people in general. You have to be consistent with it. Like, even if you don't make no sale this year, you spend that $1 million next year, you may get 5 that year. God gonna bless you for the year that you just fell off.
You gotta constantly promote your business. And even as a musician, I'm using my music to promote my business. And that's what I'm gonna leave with. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you like, however your business, whatever you end up creating an online store or something like that, whatever you do, like
yourself.
Promote yourself. Like, business is this. Business is supply and demand. You know what I'm saying? Supply, you supplying the demand. Anything, it's easy to get lost in what look good and all that, but the basic equation is supply and demand. You supplying a demand. That's how you get paid. Now, it can be a service, it can be a product, but all that, like talking about the money, all that ain't supplying the demand.
Money don't supply no demand.
Nah.
Money just let you get the demand.
And I appreciate y'all letting me talk, man.
Oh, definitely. Well, fellas, that concludes